Hello pilots, if you are anything like me, you are itching to find out more about the next installment in the Titanfall franchise. There is plenty of speculation surrounding the title of Titanfall 3, but it seems that there is also a lot of confusion about what is actually happening, what is likely, and what is not. It's also been a couple of months since I made my last video which talked about Titanfall 3, and there has been some developments since then. The biggest development, of course, has been the purchase of Respawn by EA. They were already working under the super publisher, but now EA has considerably more control, but also more investment. In the contract between EA and Respawn, two specific game projects were mentioned: the Star Wars game, which we have known about for a while, and Titanfall 3. So this leaves Titanfall 3 in an awkward state of being confirmed as in development, but not yet announced. I don't really like using that term confirmed a whole lot, because at the end of the day, Electronic Arts can still scrap the project, or indeed the entire development studio, as they have done in the past. As far as hard facts go, that's all that we know for sure. The rest is speculation. Some of what people say is based on evidence, and some not so much. So right now I'm going to do some speculation of my own, but I'll try and keep it based on evidence. Firstly, Respawn's career page has significantly less roles advertised for the Titanfall project than was listed there a couple of months ago. Most of those leadership roles are gone, which indicates to me that development has well and truly begun. Then there is the elephant in the room when it comes to speculation, and that is microtransactions. Let's just say that EA has a little bit of a reputation in this department. Honestly, I think that it is very likely that Titanfall 3 will have microtransactions. To say otherwise would be naive considering the current state of the video game industry. If I'm going to give publishers the benefit of the doubt, they say that games cost so much money to make these days that to have any level of post-launch support, they need to include in-game purchases even in fully priced games. Of course, this is probably not the case, and they're just after more money, but almost every single AAA title these days does have microtransactions to some extent. Now, there is a question as to if this is always a bad thing, and I think that in-game purchases can actually be really good for a game, especially when that money is used to fuel continued post-launch support. We can see this from how long Warframe, which is a free-to-play game, has lasted. It's had years and years of post-launch updates and expansions, all of which have been free. The downside, of course, is there's a large amount of pay-to-progress content within the game. But all of these in-game purchases must be handled with care. I'm already accepting the fact that Titanfall 3 will almost certainly have them, but how they are implemented is going to be very telling of both the community reaction to the game, and also how it is received critically. At the end of the day, microtransactions are a pretty ugly truth that we will probably have to live with if we want constant updates and post-launch support, but we should definitely not tolerate a pay-to-win system. The final point that I want to speculate on in this video is the engine that will run Titanfall 3. Titanfall 1 and 2 run on a heavily modified version of Valve's Source engine. The movement tricks in Titanfall, such as bunny hopping or slide hopping, are the result of quirks in this engine, and not necessarily conscious design decisions. Many players would say that these kind of movement tricks are integral to what makes Titanfall, well, Titanfall, and with a different engine, techniques such as air strafing would not be possible. Now, it is uncertain at this point if Titanfall 3 will be developed on the modified Source engine for a number of reasons. Firstly, this modified Source engine is still, at its core, a Source engine. Now, Respawn obviously had some deal or contract with Valve to use it for their previous titles, but we are not sure if that carried over during their acquisition by EA. So it may be somewhat pricey to renegotiate a contract to use that engine again. Secondly, EA seems to want all of its games to use the Frostbite engine. Now, don't get me wrong, Frostbite can create some absolutely beautiful games, but there is some concern as to if it will be able to replicate the movement quirks found in the previous Titanfall titles, along with the fact that the Respawn development team have worked with the modified Source engine for a long time, and may not have mastery over the Frostbite engine. So there is my speculation up to this point, but we don't really have enough yet to talk about the Titans, weapons, campaign, or anything that specific. When more information comes in, I'll do my best to keep you informed. Just remember that this game is confirmed as in development, but it's not yet announced. My guess is that we won't hear anything official until the middle of this year at least, although we can always hope for an E3 reveal. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.